Hey everyone, it's Christina here from Family Health Naturally. I'm down in my clinic down here in Sandy Bay today. And so I thought I would just come in and do a video while I'm here. I had a session with a client this morning, and it, sometimes when I'm having sessions with clients, it makes me think about a whole bunch of stuff. And one of the things that, this session made me think about was why I spent a lot of time actually investigating or exploring what are the emotional things that could be driving the illness that I'm seeing present in the individual that I've got in front of me. And for some people that doesn't make sense. They don't understand why I would do that. It's a physical problem. It's expressing in a physical way. Why wouldn't you not just look at the physical stuff? And within the conversation that I was having this morning, I was talking about how, majority of the time I could say, bar some things, when I've got an acute situation, somebody's come in because they've had an accident and they've broken their leg and they just want some herbs to help support their treatment or their recovery, or some food to be able to, make sure that we knit the leg back, that it's got all that it needs to rebuild the bone properly and so on. Apart from those sort of acute cases, or when somebody's coming with a cold and those sorts of things. And so those are the cases where I don't necessarily spend time looking at what may be an emotional driver. However, there are a lot of other cases, because I do spend a lot of time working with women who are trying to get pregnant. I'm working with clients who have maybe thyroid disease or adrenal fatigue or malabsorption, or there's a whole bunch of chronic fatigue, for example, that's going on, other chronic conditions like other autoimmune conditions, those sorts of things. There's a lot of conditions that I will be seeing when I'm working with somebody in clinic. And so part of it for me is actually treating the whole person. It's not just about making sure that they've got the right nutrients to be able to recover well or manage their condition. It's not just about using the right herbs to be able to help manage their condition and get them relief of their symptoms or their pain or whatever else is going on for them. It's also, what is the root cause of what's happening here? And as I start to explore that and I start to tease it and see what comes out, so much of the time there is some emotional connections as well. There's some emotion where, we've learnt to shove down our emotions because it's not pleasant. It's not the done thing to cry, or, we see crying, or we see being sad, or we see grief, or any of those emotions as a negative emotion, have negative connotations. We see those as bad. And so we shove them down. The same as, there's a whole bunch of stuff where they, let's take thyroid, for example, and I've mentioned this before, that when I see a client with a thyroid condition, there's a part of me that questions, where are you blocking the energy? Where are you not saying the things in your life that you want to be saying? Because if we think about the energy flow from our gut to our mouth, this is where a lot of women in particular are shutting themselves off. They might bite their tongue, so to speak, and not say the things that they want to be saying. And that can be one of the drivers that I see when it comes to thyroid conditions, because they're blocking the energy off right here. And right here, of course, is where your thyroid is. And so when I'm managing and when I'm working with them, we explore that and we start to tease that out and we bring it out. What is it that you're not saying that you would like to be saying? How are you not showing up for yourself in your life right now? And I see this all the time with patients with depression, for example, where I'll ask them, where in your life are you not being you? Were you not being able to be true to who you are? And, have you lost who you are along the way? And as we unpack it and as we explore it, along with using some herbs and some nutrients to be able to support them with that, I'm also using coaching techniques to actually help them rediscover who they are, find out who it is that they have been hiding for so long. And I'll see that again in chronic fatigue. Chronic fatigue, I'll see that quite often, where the person has learnt very early on that they can't be themselves in some way, shape or form in their lives, and so they've spent a lot of time wearing a mask or pretending to be somebody else that is more acceptable or more convenient or more flexible to whatever it is that they're surrounded by. And as we start to bring them back to who it is they are at their core and what it is they want to be doing and how they want to be showing up in the world, we actually see that their energy starts to pick up. And, you know, the nutrients and the herbs that I've been using actually have more impact and they work better for them as we start to shift some of the emotional stuff that has been blocking the energy flow for healing for them. And so that is kind of my answer to why I spend so much time exploring some of the emotional things, because I see it so often in clinic that it is one of the drivers for dis-ease. And that's what dis-ease is. It's dis-ease. Somewhere in your life where you have not got ease. Is an unbalance where you've not been able to be you. Hey Rachel, nice to see you here. Hey Jackie, nice to see you too. And so with any of my clients who have worked with me, they'll know that I spend, you know, any length of time, that I'll spend some time working with them, working out what is your, you know, energy type, for example, so that we can figure out how to best work with you, so that I can speak the language that you need to hear to be able to take the actions and get the motion and movement that you need. I'll spend time asking you questions about how is that working for you? Is this what you want in your life? What were you like as a little person? You know, whatever it is you need to be able to move and shift the emotional things that could be blocking your way for healing, I'm happy to go there, and I do go there with my clients. So I spend time doing that. And that again is my answer to why I spend so much time on the emotional stuff. Because I see it has such an impact on the actual physical health as well. And ideally, you know, 5 years ago when I was on life support, the thing that I keep coming back to, that is one of my core values, is that I want to create a legacy of allowing people to show up in their lives the way that they want to. And that includes me showing up to my life the way that I want to, and actually stepping up and taking the actions that I want in my life to happen, which is why you'll see that I'm sharing my weight loss journey, that I'm sharing, you know, the ups and the downs of what's going on in that, because I want to be real and authentic with you guys so that you can see what it takes and what journey you need to go on to really show up for you in your own life. And sometimes it's hard and sometimes it's challenging, like the last couple of weeks where, you know, I've been eating right and I've been doing all the right stuff, but my numbers on the scales have not changed until today, which was a good thing to wake up to. But we all go through those moments of having a plateau in our life where we feel like nothing is changing, but there's a lot of stuff shifting underneath. And so, you know, getting back to that 5 years ago of being on life support, I came out of that experience wanting to be the best version of me. And I want to give that gift to my clients as well, to help them get to the best version of who they are and be able to show up in a world, you know, truly in love with themselves again. Because you can't fully love somebody else to the completeness of love until you actually love yourself more. And so the more I teach you to love you, the more you're going to be able to love the people around you in your life. And I just think what an amazing world it would be if we all actually truly loved ourselves, because we would really be then loving all of the people around us more effectively. All right, that's it for me today. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are. I'm going to go out and enjoy some sunshine before it's all over Red Rover. Okay, bye for now.